Hey
Welcome,
guys.
welcome to Inspire Delusions.
Yes, so happy to have you here. Happy to be inspired with you guys and delusional with you
We
guys.
love being delusional with you
hmm
guys.
so we were just talking
Yes.
because we were editing our last video and we were talking about essentially the difference between our desires, and then like what our calling
Yeah, like
is.
destiny versus what you want to do.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Or like do they contradict?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it reminded me of something that Abraham Hicks said when we went to go watch her,
Yeah.
or them. I guess they're technically a them
Yeah.
because I don't know if you guys know who Abraham Hicks is, but it's this woman named Esther and her husband named Jerry.
Yes.
And Esther conjures
Channels.
channels this thing or being named Abraham.
Yeah, like multiple spirits,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. So if you hear us saying they or she, it's because the spirit, Abraham, that's the name they gave them, I guess doesn't have a gender, but sometimes I say she because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's in Esther's body.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's a weird concept.
Yeah.
Which when we went, our thought process was, okay, there's really two outcomes of this. Either it's real, this is happening and it's super cool and we have unlimited access to all this information, or it's fake, but they're helping a whole bunch of people all across the globe. So
Yeah.
in that case, it's real.
It's good information either way.
Right.
It's good information whether it's channeled or
Yeah.
just coming from a human.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
either way,
But
it's good info.
it was, yeah, and it was such a cool thing to watch because Esther gets up on the stage and is like, we're gonna have a good time today, and then channels Abraham. And the way it works is Abraham will like select a person in the crowd, and that person has to ask a question, but Abraham already kind of knows that the question that they're about to ask is about to benefit the entire room.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially this conversation got brought up because me and Liv sat there. It was like, what, 8 hours?
Yeah, it was maybe six hours or so.
We sat through the thing for 6 hours. We each had a notebook. We were taking notes. When I say we came out of that room and we had two complete different takeaways, but we heard all the same stories, all the same conversations.
We were in the same room listening to it.
Yeah, sitting next to each other, having the same conversations with people during the breaks.
Yeah.
And yeah, just had two complete different takeaways. All of that relates to desires versus like your calling, is because Abraham, somebody there asked a question about like, what's our true purpose? Like, how can I connect to my higher being? What does this all mean? And she was asking like very deep questions and seemed very it was intense.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I felt like she felt very in need of desperate
answers.
Yeah, like needed answers.
Yeah. And so Abraham looked at her and was like, yeah, just live your life,
babe. It's here. Just live your life.
Right. Like you came here to live.
Yeah.
So you just need to do your human thing, have your human experience, and live your life.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Don't stress.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's like my takeaway about like desires is like, we're human, we're supposed to have desires, and that's really beautiful. But if there is like a higher calling or a higher purpose that like you're getting downloaded from your higher being, I think though that path will also feel right regardless or not if you have desires outside of it.
Yeah, I think ultimately what feels right to you is what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I think. And Bashar is another channeler, and we'll talk about him too. I love his work, and he talks about that because I think, you know, he kind of describes you should always act on your highest passion. That's what, you know, that's how you level up your life. That's how you get in alignment. That's how you it's the easiest way to move through your life is just acting on your highest passion and doing what you actually want to do. Mm-hmm. And I think I've been thinking about that a lot lately with this podcast, because that's what I feel with this podcast, because I believe, like, I love this. Like, this has been really, really fun. And I think there's a couple different areas in my life where I'm like, okay, I really want to lean into this, like, and test it out and be like, okay, let's test this theory out and be like, let's do what really feels fun, what really feels right. What feels fun for me is helping people and inspiring people and doing this podcast and being a coach. And I love all of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm really trying to lean into that of not needing to do, other things that I don't like to do.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
So
we'll
follow
test
your
it out.
desires.
Yeah.
Follow your human desires. And essentially, like, when you're happy doing whatever you're doing and you feel good, that's when you're your best self to yourself and to inspire others.
Yeah. Yeah. Just feeling good is so important. Doing what you actually want to do is so important. And it's such a big part of this life. I think there's someone that I'm friends with, and he had this belief of like life is basically like a prison, or being here is kind of like a prison. It's like it's a battle. And I feel like that's a common belief that people have. It's like, damn, why are we here? This is tough. Life is supposed to be tough. Like life is always tough, or it's a battle. And I don't agree with that. Yeah. I agree that we chose to come here. One, I believe that we have the opportunity to manifest and create literally any life that we want. So why wouldn't we want to come here? And I believe that life ultimately gets to be really, really good. And at least that's my belief. So I think that's how my life is going to go. I'm like, wait, if this is a prison and if it's supposed to be hard, why are there beaches? Why are there puppies? Why are there beautiful flowers and rainbows and waterfalls? I'm like, really? This is a prison? Like, that's not that bad.
No.
So I'm like, this is such a beautiful, this is such a beautiful place. We have beautiful friendships and laughter and family and babies' smiles. Like, there's horrible things that happen too, of course, but there's so much beauty in the world and happiness.
Yeah.
So really trying to focus on those things, I think, makes your life so much better.
I think also, like, in the Bible, I don't know if any of you guys are religious, but in the Bible a lot, it talks about how we should be living like heaven on earth. Like, it's meant to be a paradise where we are right now.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people get caught up in like needing to be perfect, so then they'll get to like heaven in the afterlife. But like life isn't supposed to be like this middle ground to the afterlife. It's supposed to be heaven on earth.
Yes.
And like life is supposed to be lived to the fullest. And how lucky are we to get to do that safe with family, friends who love us, and knowing like the secret of like manifestation.
Yeah.
So we get it's essentially a cheat code. We get everything we want.
A cheat code.
Well, we were going to get anything and everything we wanted anyways, but it's a cheat code to get it quicker.
Yeah, totally.
And it's also so cool because now we get to share it with you guys, and you guys get to get things quicker.
Yeah, so, I love it.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky you. If you're listening to this podcast, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
We're all so lucky. Yeah. But yeah, no, I remember going through at the beginning of my like healing journey and hearing other people talk about it's possible to live a good life. It's possible to, I really believe that we can get to heaven on earth and really live in a harmonious world and a peaceful world eventually, whatever. And I really genuinely believe that, but I used to not. And I remember hearing people that would talk about that, and it gave me so much hope. So I hope that I can be, and we can be that for other people. Like, genuinely, I believe that the world is going in a good direction. You can manifest anything that you want. We're here to feel good. We're here to be, living in joy. You don't have to be living with your negative thoughts all the time. You can change your thoughts to be more positive. You can start manifesting if you're not already. You can be intentional and literally get anything that you want. So yeah, I hope that is helpful for some people. And I did also want to talk about something else I took away from the Abraham Hicks workshop. Ultimately, I feel like my biggest takeaway was expecting good things. Like, that's why I remember writing that down, like and making a TikTok about it after and whatever, and being like, that was one of their main messages, which was expect good things. Like, let yourself get your hopes up, let yourself expect good things. The universe is here to be on your side and is here to literally give you what you want. We were just talking about this on the last episode, but one of Abraham Hicks's books, which I highly recommend, it's kind of like a beginner manifesting books, is Ask and It Is Given. And that's the whole premise, is that's all you have to do is ask. That's the first most important step, is just asking for what you want, asking for a better life, asking for, being happier, asking for a new job, asking for a dream partner, or whatever you want, just any way you want to like improve your life or manifest, just asking is literally the first step.
So something that I took away from Abraham Hicks was the idea that if you decide something is true, the evidence will start to follow after that.
Yes, I love that.
Right?
I love
that.
And that goes to just what you believe is going to be your reality, literally no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you think something, you will start to see that in your everyday life, like start to pop up.
Yeah. And an example I like to think about is like crystals, for example. If you believe crystals work, they will work. And if you don't, then they probably won't work. I genuinely believe that they're going to work because it's either a placebo effect, or it really has some type of energy that's changing and helping, or in a third reason, it's working because I believe it's working. So it's working. So it's like literally whatever you believe to be true is going to end up being true.
Yeah.
And just like our minds are so powerful, and that goes to the placebo effect. But sorry.
Right. Or like one of our friends was talking about how everyone in LA like drives black ranges. And then she started to see black ranges everywhere.
Yeah.
To the point where we would be in the car and then we started seeing black ranges. And it was like matte black ranges. Like,
really specific.
Really specific. And so then it's like when you're thinking that will be in your everyday. So we were all seeing it. It was like spreading to all of us. Yeah. But yeah, so that was like really cool. And then like, I guess another thing that she said that really resonated with me is whatever your creation is, like, are you doing it because it looks cool or because you're actually about it?
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me.
Start that.
I did start it because think like maybe I was getting like a little bit of a hype from when people are like, oh, what do you do for work? And I'm like, oh, like I'm a travel nurse. Yeah. And people like eat that shit up. They're like, oh my God, like you're so young. You get to go to all these cities. You get to do this, that, the other. Like you're really living your best life. And saying that to people, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I'm a travel nurse. I'm like such a badass. But like my feelings inside, I don't think it was like, I was like, am I even happy like doing this? Or is this like for show because it looks cool or because I'm making a certain amount of money or I have flexibility? And so I don't know. That for me, I was like, dang, is the life that I'm creating, is that for show or is that for me?
1000%. That's a great thing to ask yourself when you are like wanting something or manifesting something or if you're proud of something, I guess, is asking, is that actually what I really want? Or is it an ego desire? Is it, am I trying to prove it for someone? Am I trying to get it just to look cool? Yeah. That's definitely something to really, really, really ask yourself. Yeah. That's interesting for me. I feel like that's an interesting question for me because I do love me a luxury item. I love me to look good. Some people don't though. So that's what's tricky. Some people really, really don't. Yeah. Or, for me, I'm like, yeah, I want my nice condo, my nice house on the hills. But some people want to live like, in a cute little cabin in the woods or whatever.
But that's different though, because that's cool because that just goes to show everyone's different and everyone's desires are different. And honestly, I had to come to that realization because I was like, well, why doesn't everyone want to be rich or famous? Right. And like, that's not true happiness. For a lot of people. Totally. Like money doesn't mean things to a lot of people. Yeah. Or whatever the case may be doesn't mean things for a lot of people versus some things that people really desire and want that are so cool. I don't think we've ever thought twice about.
Yeah, 1000%.
Which is like so cool. But like you wanting like these nice things, whether it's like your house, your material things, I don't think you're doing those because you're like, oh my gosh, I look so cool. I think those are your desires because they are your desires.
Yeah, I agree.
I think for me, it was more just like, that's a good example of something that like seemed cool, but on the inside, it wasn't like you buying like a really cool house. Yeah, that's cool. Like you get to show it off, whatever, but you want a really cool house. Right. For me, travel nursing sounds really cool and exciting, but I don't think I'm aligned anymore with this job.
Yes, totally.
So that just like, I think that was also like when I was starting to have my transitional period of like really being like, what are my next steps career wise? Like I can't do this anymore. So hearing that, I was like, dang, which is so cool because I think the guy who came up and asked the question, he asked it some like differently, but then Abraham gives that answer and it's like, everybody in the crowd, like it resonated to you with like one way or another,
Yes,
you know?
Totally.
So
what else did you learn from the workshop?
Yes.
We're looking at the notes.
Yes.
We pulled up the receipts. We pulled up the notes.
Oh, so these are, okay, so she always has like tuned in, tapped in, turned on, but she says it really fast. She's like tuned in, tapped in, turned on.
Yeah.
And her like 3 things for us are 1, ask.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Who
would have thought it was ask?
Figure out what you want and ask for it.
She said ask. Number 2, source will give it to you. Mm-hmm. Whether that's your higher being, whether that's the universe, God, whatever you want a source to be, source will give it to you. And 3, find ways to feel better.
Yeah.
And so she was saying like humans or like people, we will get caught up on, we know what we want, we know how to ask, but we get caught up on the how is it going to happen?
Yeah, or when.
Maybe. Yeah. And so she's like, relax. Your only job as a human is to literally ask for nice things and you will receive those nice things.
Yes.
Like it was so fun listening to her.
It really was. Like I love her work. Like you can look her up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There's podcasts.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to get her content. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love the way that they speak, that she speaks, because it's just very positive.
Yeah.
Like, and ultimately what you are listening to over and over again, we were kind of talking about this before, what you listen to over and over again you're gonna eventually believe it.
Yeah.
You know? So again, it's like if you're listening to this podcast constantly, you're gonna start being a little bit more delusional, mm-hmm. being a little bit more positive. Abraham Hicks, amazing person to just listen to. I love just listening to her, you know, in the mornings. Like you can just put it, you don't have to like, it's not something where you have to be completely locked in. Yeah. But you can just put it on the background, put it on while you drive, because it's just truly, if you listen to, you know, Abraham or someone else being like, hey, life is good. Mm-hmm. You really can manifest what you want. God, universe is really there for you. Mm-hmm. If you listen to that enough times, it's going to start sinking in. Yeah. So Abraham Hicks is a great person to listen to if you're starting to get on this journey and you know, don't necessarily believe all of that yet. Just listen, you know, just start listening, start saturating your mind with positive content, and eventually it'll start sticking, from my experience.
I think like a good example of this is like when people are sad, their favorite thing to do is like put on a sad song and like cry. Yeah. So it's like, if you want to feel good, put on affirmation tracks, put on Abraham Hicks, her like all her little compilations of her positive sayings. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll work.
It will work.
It'll work. It'll start sticking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Life is really good. And life is moving quick for us.
I think we were talking, I think earlier today, we were like, I think we're at a turning point.
Yeah, we totally are.
Yeah. And we were kind of like, are we ready? Because that's the thing about the universe. She is silly. She, like, if you ask for something, she'll be like, okay, here it is. And then I feel like we'll catch ourselves and be like, oh my gosh, wait, are we actually ready? Like, whoa. We're not ready. So like, you have to be ready to like go along with the thing, because once you're really open, things change very quickly.
Yeah. And I would even, yes, it's a beautiful way to say it, but even, you don't even need to be ready. You just have to kind of go with it. Even if you're not ready, you know, you don't really, like, yes, you can try to be ready and whatever, but don't feel like you have to over prepare or be perfect, you know, either. So kind of a balance. Like,
well, like imperfecally starting.
Yeah, imperfectly starting.
Which I think we've like talked before.
Exactly, totally. But yeah, we're powerful. Yeah. We're powerful witches. If you keep listening, you're going to keep gaining power.
Yeah.
You want to say this story of?
Yeah, so we
have a friend.
Yes, we have a friend who we hadn't spoken to in a while, and we had thought of them, and we were like, oh, should we text so-and-so to like just help us with something?
Literally have not talked to this person in
3 months.
3 months, maybe more.
Yeah.
Have not talked to,
haven't
seen
heard
them. From.
Yeah. No communication of any sort.
Had one thought, and I was like, oh, should we reach out to so-and-so? They joking.
We were jokingly. 2 hours later.
2 hours later, they reached out to us.
They put us in a group message and
asked how we're doing.
Yeah. And Olivia was like on a call in her room, and I was like working in my room, and she just like runs into my room, and she was like, what? You texted us? And I was just like, yeah.
Crazy.
That was, I like that.
I love that.
So then we were like, okay, let's write down a list of things that we're going to both put our intention on and then just see what happens and see what like manifests.
Yeah, I think we're getting into the very powerful zone.
Yeah.
So this is going to be
really
fun.
We're locked in.
We're very locked in.
So I need you guys to DM us or put in the comments like things that you guys want, because we'll hold an intention for you guys as well.
Yeah.
So because it's really like anyone can do it at any point. It doesn't matter like how far away you are. So let us know what you guys are manifesting. We'll manifest for you too. But
we're really powerful, so
yeah,
we can manifest it for you. And we really, really, I mean, I guess anyone could say this, but I'll say it for Kayma. Kayma really, really wants the very best for everyone and for everyone in this world.
Oh, I'll say that for Liv. Liv also wants the very best for everybody in the world.
Yeah, so, you know, we love it when people are delusional and they tell us their dreams, because we're like, babe, that's too small. Go bigger.
No,
we're
literally.
Like, what? Okay, go 10 times that. 10 times that. It's going to be even better than you can even imagine.
Yeah.
So we love being delusional with people. If you need delusional besties, again, we are your new delusional besties.
Which I don't even think we like mentioned how this kind of got started. Is I think one of our friends was like visiting us and she was like updating us on her life. And we were just like, no, you can do this, you can get that, you can do this, whatever. Yeah. And she was with us like the whole weekend, just like constantly hearing us like saying things to her. And she left that weekend being like, oh my God, you guys, I feel so inspired. Like, thank you so much. This or that. And it was so funny. So like,
and we were like, oh, that's just how we talk.
Literally how we talk. We didn't even realize. We were like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, that's really nice that like we did it. And then it happened like with another friend and then another friend. Plus, like we were saying, like we'll literally sit on the couch and we'll like talk about like quantum physics for like 3 hours and like manifesting, looking up YouTubes and then being like, okay, what did you take away from that? So like we're really happy to be here. We want to help as many people as possible. Just because like, why not all be happy and like get everything we want? Like I love seeing people succeed.
Love
like when people win, I actually feel that win.
Love people being happy, love people being healthy, love people winning, and just I love people realizing that they're amazing. What I don't like, what I despise is when amazing people, and everyone's amazing, don't recognize that they're amazing. And that's what I feel like part of my job is literally just helping people and coaching people to recognize that they're already amazing. So it's like my job's easy because ultimately at the core, everyone is amazing. Everyone is worthy. Everyone is perfect. Everyone, you know, has the ability to be happy and confident and healthy. I just help people remember that and realize that. So I love my job.
Oh, I like that.
And I like doing this.
Yeah. We're so lucky.
We're so lucky.
And in turn, y'all are so lucky.
Y'all are so lucky.
But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I know we put out like a few quick episodes, but
longer episodes coming soon.
Longer episodes coming soon. Back to like more teaching coming soon. Again, we're just trying to do the basics of manifesting. We'll be talking about modality soon, like EFT tapping, meditating, journaling, vision boards. Yeah, we're about to get really into the gist, and we'll also start sharing stories because Olivia and I have like pretty cool stories, especially as of late. I feel like a lot of things have been aligning for us, and we're really excited to share them. So
it's cool to hear proof.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. I love going on YouTube or Reddit. I love Reddit, like going on and just being like, show me like, or going down like a tunnel of like people's a rabbit hole of like people's successes. Or like on YouTube I watch like Dr. Joe, what's it called when people like oh my God, testimonials. Those are my favorite because you have to show your brain everybody else who's doing it and let them know that it is possible. So
we're gonna start talking about our wins more, manifestations more, and giving some proof. So we love you all.
Love you guys a lot.
Much.
Yeah,
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for continuing to write reviews. We're having we really want to get the numbers up, the reviews up, and we love you all.
Absolutely.
See you on the next time.
In the next episode, you guys. Bye.